Hello, this is Mr. Collier, and today we're isolating for an indicated variable. Okay, so if we look at this equation we have right here, this is s equals d over t. It's actually speed equals distance divided by time. So if you know the distance and the time, you can do distance divided by time to give you speed. But we can make two other equations. Okay, we can solve for t and get an equation that gives you the time, and we can solve for d and give you an equation that gives you the distance. Okay, so let's do the distance one first. Now we have s equals, let me do it down here, s equals d over t. Then we can multiply both sides of the equation by t to get rid of this fraction in the denominator. This will cancel these t's, and we get d equals t times s. So if you want to get the distance, we do time times speed. Now we're going to do the same thing to solve for t. We have s equals d over t. So again, you can multiply by t. You got d equals s, or t times s. I'm just rewriting this. And if we want to solve for t, we need to divide both sides by s. So we get t equals distance divided by speed. Now in the next one we have density equals mass divided by volume. That's how you calculate the density of an object. Let's write this as d equals m over v first of all. And we can solve the equation to get an equation for v and get an equation for m. Okay, to get the equation for m, let's do m first. We can multiply both sides of the equation by v, and we get m equals d times v. Okay, now we can take the equation here and divide both sides by d, and we get v equals m divided by d. Okay, let me just show that in red. So take this equation, you can divide both sides by d. d divided by d is 1, so we just get v equals m divided by d. Okay, next we have to solve these three problems for the indicated variable. So we need to solve for h. That means your goal at the end is you want h equals something. Okay, so right now, take a look at what we have here. We don't have any adding or subtracting or anything like that. What we have is multiplication. We have pi times r squared times h. So if we want to get rid of the pi r squared, we've got to do the opposite of multiplying, which is dividing. So you just divide both sides by pi r squared. Okay, pi r squared divided by pi r squared is 1. So we'll have h equals just v divided by pi r squared. Okay, and that's your answer. Okay, next, in the next problem we want to solve for n, so we need to get rid of the a and the b. So if we knew what n was, we'd divide it by a and then add b. So to get rid of the b, we're going to subtract b from both sides. b minus b is 0, and we have n over a equals c minus b. And we just get rid of this a, and this is divided by a, so the opposite is multiplying by a. We're going to multiply the whole equation by a, though. So we'll have n equals a times c minus b. Okay, you can expand the brackets if you want to. A times c is ac, a times b is ab. Okay, and then the next one, we're solving for c, and we've got a fraction here, multiplied by h, multiplied by b plus c. So let's get rid of the fraction first. This is half. So to get rid of it, I'm going to multiply both sides of the equation by 2. And we'll have 2 times a equals, now 2 times half is 1, so it's just h times b plus c. Okay, we're still looking for c, so this is h multiplied by b plus c. To get rid of the multiplied by h, we divide by h. So now we have 2a over h equals, h is cancelled, and we have b plus c. So then I will subtract b from both sides. It's gone. And we have c equals, and all this is 2a over h, as an h, minus b, because we just subtracted b. Lastly, we're going to solve this one for w. So what we have in the fraction is n squared minus w. So we need to multiply by n squared minus w to cancel it out. Right? This is 2 divided by n squared minus w. So we need to multiply by n squared minus w to cancel the divide by n squared minus w. Okay, so we have to multiply both sides of the equation by that. Okay, so I'm going to have n squared minus w times t equals 2. And we're solving for w, so let's expand this t, I guess. That's one way to do it. Actually, let's divide both sides by t to get rid of this t. That's multiplied by t, so if I divide by t, it cancels out the multiplied by t. So that's canceled, and we got n squared minus w equals 2 over t. And again, we're solving for w, so let's subtract n squared from both sides. We got, now be careful, you're going to have a negative w left, equals 2 over t minus n squared. We're almost done. We got to get rid of that negative. It's like a negative 1, so if I multiply everything by negative 1, the negative times negative will give you positive, and we'll just have w. So we'll multiply both sides by negative 1, and we'll get w equals negative 2 over t plus n squared. That is your answer.